I have haters watching my videos, and they love to attempt to get me banned. And for that fact, I must say this, is that this video contains content that may not be suitable for all viewers, and especially you haters. So viewer discretion is advised. From the actions that I see coming from my people, it is evident that we are discombobulated. A lot of things have been thrown at us and we just don't know which way to go. We are confused. Should I go left or should I go right? But one thing I've been seeing that we need to rethink and stop doing, and that is calling the police on our loved ones, unless you want that person killed. Because it is evident that the police do not come to solve situations unless it involves the death of a black person, whether it's a child or an adult, an elderly person, a female, or a person with mental disabilities. If you call the cops, these people could end up dead. And why would you call the cops? Because someone within your family is acting out. My question is, how long has this person been acting out? Was this behavior at one time excused? You tried to look over it, and now it has become a problem. And for what I've been noticing is that the majority of the reasons that people call the cops, you should not even have called the cops because a person is acting out. Now I can see the person has pulled a gun, is threatening to shoot everybody. I mean, again, unless you want to see that person dead, I would not call the cops. There is some type of way that I think that you can connect with people that are acting out. Now, I want to say this as well, is that when you allow a child to act out, as time goes by, his behavior is going to get worse. It is not going to get better because you allow them to do the things they do. Scream, destroy things, talk back to you, the person that is rearing them. And now all of a sudden you're wondering why they won't listen to you. When have they ever listened to you or your words? Did you always have to come get the big uncle or somebody that is really an authority figure to control this person? You've never had control. When I see a lot of these cases coming up where people are calling the authorities on their loved ones, I think that someone should call the authorities on them. Because the problems that you are seeing, that problem always existed. They allowed the problem to get out of hand, and they really are the cause of their own loved one's death. And I'm really speaking to the black people, is that the reason this happens is because we don't want our own problems. You want to push it off on the police, push it off on the school teacher, push it off on the minister, push it off on the president, when all you have to do is take control of your own house. But in all honesty, I can kind of see why black people are so disoriented from all the things that have been thrown at us. Every time you watch a television or a news station, there it is. Some black person is losing their life live on tape. No one seems to give a damn. They make excuses after excuses. Unarmed black man being killed by cops. Now what does that do to the mind of the viewer, of a person that cares? That's how black people become discombobulated, because since our existence, we have been shown horror of the treatment of our own people. And that is, we can stand back like we're defenseless. We can't do nothing about it but accept it and wait for some other black person to be killed too. All of this grandstanding I've been seeing these different black organizations do with that no fucking around group and the Black Lives Matter. Hey man, that's grandstanding. Since you have been coming out with that, has the problem stopped? No. So what you are doing is useless. You are not showing any force. Why would the establishment change their ways when you have not given them a reason to change their ways? See, it's one thing about when you bother some people. Some people you bother, you know that there's not going to be any repercussions. All these people are doing is going to get mad and nothing is going to happen. But there are some people out there that if you were to bother them, you know that it's going to be hell to pay. And somebody is going to come after your behind. So you second guess yourself on attacking that person. We are the weaker race as a whole because we allow things to happen to us over and over and we continue to do nothing. We thinking that marching and standing on some damn corner screaming and hollering, no justice, no peace, is going to change situations. The same type of force that's been applied to you, you have to show the same or greater amount of force to get out of this situation. I don't know how many more years it's going to take, but I see now that this isn't it. I see that these people that are with this Black Lives Matter groups, they are admitting that the group has been hijacked. And how did the group get hijacked in the first place? It's because black people always want to invite other people in, not knowing who these people are and what their agenda is. What I keep saying is that if white people, Hispanics, and all these other groups of people want to assist black people, we don't need you in the group with us to assist us. Do what you want to do or must do from where you are at. What is happening to black people is just not happening in one spot. You just can't go to this one to New York, or you just can't go to California, or you just can't go to Texas. It is happening all over America. So why would people always want to show up in one spot when you should be spread out? We don't need these other groups joining black groups. You want to stand side by side with us? No. You go stand on that side. We're going to stand on this side. We're going to bombard them with our complaints. But what black people don't understand is that you have some people that do not want to see us succeed. So they'll come in claiming to want to join your group with these half-ass smiling faces. But on the inside, they're there to destroy your group, to infiltrate and destroy. And I see it often, too many times. Black people so damn lonely, want to make a friend so bad that they'll make a friend with the devil. I don't go by what you say. I go by what you do. Because sometimes people can say one thing, but in their heart, something else is going on. And sometimes people will say things that get people, you know what I'm saying, to kind of confuse you. They don't really want you to know what it is all about them. So they'll give out some misleading information about themselves. But if you watch them and look at their actions speaks for itself. You know, going out and destroying stores, hey, that's what y'all think y'all should do. I just don't think that's what you should be doing because it's not the stores, the department stores that are causing the problems. Why don't y'all always meet up at the police department and at these courthouses? Because that's where the problem lies. See, a lot of these people within these black organizations, all they want to do is talk. They don't want no action. They get up there screaming loud. But there's no damn action. There's another thing I have to say about those damn protests. There is no protection for the protesters. Why hasn't anyone come up with some type of plan to protect the front line of protests? Now I heard some lady the other day talking about using some old folks. That lady that should be in prison for even coming up with that type of idea to use old folks as a shield for the protesters. Now, if you have cops on the front lines with shields and weapons, well, shouldn't you have some people on the front line protecting the protesters with shields and weapons? I mean, that's what I would do. And I would also protect the perimeter and make sure that there are no infiltrators. But, as I say, we are discombobulated. And when you are discombobulated, you get lost. You get confused. You're unsure. You're perplexed. Bewildered, disoriented. You just feel like a complete idiot. Don't know what the hell to do. Don't know which way to go. But that's because people don't follow the God within them. And I know that the God within some people tells people, say, man, y'all need to get up and show some action. But you let Satan overrule your mind and convince you to do nothing, to sit down. Oh, now we're going to get shot. We might go to jail. I might lose my job. I might lose my house. And how long are we as a people are going to continue to push the problem along to the next generation? And then when that generation tries to do something to stop it, you have that same older generation to now stop, because that older generation has become comfortable. Their life is pretty much set now, and they don't want to make no waves. We need to get rid of people like that. It's something about being young and having that fire in your heart. And when you get old, you lose that fire and your ass get cold. You know, when you look around, you see you have people out here that are on the front lines, just trying to fight for the people. You're not going to have those people around always. When those people are gone, what are you going to do? You refuse to fight. And you know what is happening. So what are you going to do when these fighters are no longer around to fight for you? I mean, we as a people, we do have enough knowledge to develop our own system. But some of us would rather join the system that is already in place, which we know that is not for us. Man, I hear a lot of people talking about, I'll be glad when things get back to normal. Things are not going to go back to normal. Time moves forward. It does not move backwards. So those things in the past are just what they are in the past. And what you see now, this is what you should look for. This is the future. I don't understand why a lot of these rich millionaire, billionaire black people just haven't found somewhere or on this planet somewhere. And we just go up there and build and have our own right there. Instead of trying to join this system that is not designed for us. And if you do get in, you got to be a sucker ass like Candace Owens or Botham Jean's little brother. Black people need a system where the black men can stand up as men and the women can stand up as women. There's another thing I would like to say is that while your children have to go through this homeschooling, it will be in your best interest for a lot of you to sit there alongside your children and learn too, because you don't know. A lot of you people out there didn't finish high school, junior high, and you don't know. How can you help your children homeschooling? You can't. But what you can do is sit there alongside your child and learn as well. I'm going to tell you why I'm really against homeschooling, because I remember in those 60s and 70s when white people were taking their children out of schools because they didn't want them going to school with black children, and those white kids are dumb as a bag of rocks. Because how you going to teach your children when you are ignorant yourself? But hey, don't look at it negatively. Now is your time to learn so that you can know. Because I noticed that it seems like the children's their mind is all they kind of like sponges, and they can absorb a lot of information, and a lot of things that generation before them don't know. It's like those children born knowing it. So instead of you trying to look at some type of challenge, or you feeling bad because your child just might happen to have a little more knowledge than you, don't look at it negatively. Be happy that you have a child that has some type of knowledge and wisdom. And if you are a smart person, you will learn from that child as well. And please, enough with the talk about voting when blacks do not have a candidate. All these people that blacks are talking about voting for represent what we are going through today. And that is more oppression and discombobulation.